honestly, from my perspective, this internet usage is now, I'm going to say it's very crucial in our necessity everyday lives because our children are getting their education obviously through these internet services, and most of us parents are now utilizing internet.
I'm I'm Peyton and I live in Gostra. I'm in third grade and I go to school at Algodones Elementary School. I miss going to races. I miss art. I miss music. I'm I miss PE. I miss my teacher.
Even before all this happened, like before we had to do online school, like we didn't have good internet. Like the only place we had internet access was at the library, and like we didn't really go there. Like we need it better all around.
Before broadband came into the community, everyone relied on the library, or they went out of the pueblo to get access to the internet. The importance of bringing broadband into the community because it's an investment for the future, for the advancement of our students.
It depends on the weather and stuff like that, but usually 5.5 hours to 6. And so right now I'm feeding, or I'm taking 53 lunches at 20 stops. So round trip mileage from bus barn to back to bus barn is approximately like 122 miles, more or less. So, but like now that the pandemic started, now you can really see, I mean, there's even Verizon has a lot of dead spots out there. So if a family didn't have Verizon, you know what I mean, they basically didn't have any kind of internet service, because most of the places at their houses don't have the service just because of where they're located. I mean, they might be in a little valley, or they might be next to a mesa or something, so they don't get service. So sometimes, even with Verizon, some people have to drive a few miles from their house to get to a higher ground so they can get service. You know what I mean? So you got to look at some of these older generations that they don't even have a cell phones. You know what I mean? Their kids may have cell phones, but they don't even own a cell phone. And then most of the houses there don't have, like houses here in Cuba or in the cities, you know, they'll have phone lines, you know what I mean, like for what is it, Windstream and stuff like that. Well, out there, you know what I mean, it's not cost effective for them to run 30 miles of line to one house, so they don't even have a landline for a phone. But you guys had a lot of problems trying to get internet and stuff.
Yeah, we were having a lot of problems with internet. So I had to go to all different places. They don't have signals out here. And finally, now that we have the Jetpack pack, it's good. He's doing his work.
And it's been working good the one that you got to do in school?
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, I have to waste my money, about $80 for those hotspot Verizon.
Well, with broadband coming in, it has connected time and space. Time meaning that, technology is ever changing once again, and space that we are out in the middle of nowhere. Sometimes people say out of the middle of nowhere, but that's my home. And, it's connected us to the world and beyond.
Like that, like now it's winter, but in the summer, the parents are driving out here, you know what I mean, if they're bringing 9 kids, they got to get logged on and get their work in the heat, you know what I mean? Yep. I mean, to imagine to have even 2 people in a car, parked, you know, the air conditioner doesn't work very good when you're parked. I don't care even if it's a brand new vehicle, you know what I mean? And to sit there for, you know, to have to sit there for 3 hours and not even be able to log on, you know what I mean? That's just some of the things that they're having to go through.
Yes.
And like now with the jetpacks, you know what I mean? I've heard that some of them are working really good and some of them aren't. That's plays into the part with the no service. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on the weather. Weather says this.
Yeah, the weather too.
Everybody
Yeah.
will go through.
Yeah.
Just in general with any service can be pretty spotty living inside the village, and we've pretty much been privileged to, I guess, receive hotspots from our tribe, the Blacks, and Kashana also received her own little Khajiit hotspot.
Okay.
So we have those two devices.
From the get-go, even the summer months, you know, when we had to keep our masks all the time and couldn't get down for contact, we were in the hot car and my girls would just tough it out for connection purposes. And there would be some times I would get kicked off the internet, and you know, with that it was very, very challenging. And I was going to school at the same time, so internet was very complicated. It was very scarce
Because it's become a necessity, just like any other electric bill, water bill. It's pretty much tied in with that. Even though the bill is kind of high, I couldn't say no to it because it's something that we just need that bad. So, and then also, of course, for work and everything. So it's just an all-around something that's needed.
to those people who are able to assist every tribal community. I speak very strongly on behalf of my community, for the love of my community, not just for the sake of my 3 children, for all children across, you know, the community. Please help us develop a plan to provide these services. These internet services are very crucial in this time and age where this virus is very scary. These internet services that are keeping us homebound is also keeping us safe.
I would tell our policymakers to come and see what more is needed in Indian country. Come visit us and I'll show you my home. I'll show you what we have thus far, what we need, and how can we partner to work together. Because of course, home is where your story begins. That's what Annie Daniels quote. Home is where your story begins. And I think what I want to have our students to have are the same opportunities as the students on the other side of the digital divide.